What's up everybody, my name is Cal, and this is the first video of 2020 in this room! Woo! After the Dubai vlogs I decided to take a break, but that break is finally over and I thought it was now time to come back to YouTube and start producing videos again. I thought I'd kick things off by doing the films I'm looking forward to in 2020. Yes, I know I'm aware that we've just entered February and I basically should have done this last month because films have already been being released, but I decided to be a month late, as I am usually late to a lot of things. Nevertheless, these films haven't even been released yet, so I guess it's still appropriate to do this video. So, let's do it. The films I'm looking forward to in 2020. So in no particular order, the first one I'm looking forward to in 2020 is James Bond No Time to Die. I'm not a huge James Bond fan, they never really stuck with me. I grew up watching the Daniel Craig version of Bond, and although I watched bits of Quantum of Solace and Casino Royale, I only really like the car chase sequence from Quantum of Solace. I saw Skyfall and Spectre, and although they were really good films, they didn't really stay with me or make me want to see all the other Bond movies. So I'm hoping No Time to Die does that for me. The next film I'm looking forward to in 2020 is Venom 2. The first Venom film wasn't too bad, there were some bad points, but there were some charming points as well. Tom Hardy does a really good performance. There isn't a lot of sort of plot leaks or set photos or anything with Venom 2, it's kind of a bit secret. Maybe they are still filming it and that's probably the reason why we haven't seen any photos, but all I know is Carnage, played by Woody Harrelson, is going to be the antagonist of this movie, and we're going to see Shriek, who is Carnage's love interest in the comics. So they're going to do something with that, and apparently, due to the Sony Marvel Disney deal, Spider-Man, aka Tom Holland's Spider-Man, may feature in Venom 2 in a cameo, and might even team with Venom. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go down, and hopefully Venom 2 ends up being a pretty good movie and sets up the future of this Sony universe, which is quite weird actually. The next film we're looking forward to seeing in 2020 is Purge 5. This is supposedly the last Purge movie we're going to get, and we've seen so many variations of the Purge movies, there's even a TV series. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do this one, because in election year, which was supposed to be the last Purge movie, if you exclude the first Purge, which is obviously the beginning of everything, was basically trying to take down the Purge and stop it. So maybe there's this one last kind of 12-hour crime where everything is off limits, all sorts of weapons are used, anyone, even the Prime Minister is vulnerable, and it's just a big kind of spectacle across America, even the whole world if they dare do that. So, you know what, I really enjoyed the Purge series, so hopefully they do something magical, something spectacular over the top with Purge 5. But we have to wait and see until the trailer comes out. The next film we're looking forward to seeing in 2020 is Black Widow. First Phase 4 MCU film, how could I not want to watch that, even though it's technically not brand new, as this takes place in between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. We get to see what Natasha got up to whilst on the run from the government. She's trying to fix her past problems before she became an Avenger, and we get to see sort of her origins and how everything came about and this family that she had in Soviet Russia. I can't wait to see all of that, and of course, no matter what happens, trying to fix your past causes problems, and there's always obstacles in the way in the form of villain Taskmaster, who hasn't been revealed yet. We don't know the identity of Taskmaster from the trailers, and it's pretty exciting because Taskmaster looks awesome, and I can't wait to see who this person ends up being. So, of course, I am excited to see Black Widow and what they do with it. It looks like a spy espionage movie, and it's kind of nice adding that into the MCU. The next film we're looking forward to in 2020 is Fast 9. The trailer came out on January 31st, and oh my god, it's a Fast and Furious film. You've got a car jumping off a cliff and a magnet plane carrying it across. And then you've got Dom in his Charger driving off the same cliff, getting attached by some sort of wire, just swinging around like a bloody I don't know what. It's a Fast and Furious film that defies the laws of physics. We had two Dodge Chargers trying to pull a steel vault with $100 million through the streets of Rio. We had several cars trying to get a cargo plane down on a runway that was as long as the European continent. We had a hypercar driving through 3 buildings in Abu Dhabi, and we have this. I can't wait to see what they do with Fast 9. It is stupid, it is ridiculous, but it is so entertaining. And of course, I grew up with watching the saga, and I'll still watch it, no matter how ridiculous they get. If they go into space and they're in mobility scooters, I will so watch that. And of course, Han. Han is back! Han is alive! Justice for Han. I am so excited and curious to see what they do with that. How did he survive that crash in Tokyo Drift? I'll never know, but hopefully we get an explanation. Next film we're looking forward to in 2020 is Morbius. Watching the trailer made me so confused and so curious and so intrigued. I do like Michael Morbius. In the comics, he was a scientist who experimented on himself and he ended up being a vampire, but obviously there's a lot more to that, and of course we see that in the trailer. But the fact that this film is trying to connect itself with the MCU is really goddamn confusing. The fact that Morbius features a graffitied poster of Spider-Man and the words murderer written across it, and the fact that Michael Keaton's Vulture appeared at the end of the trailer is getting me questioning if this film is connected to the MCU, which I'm pretty sure it is. But aside from that, the trailer actually makes it look promising. We get to explore Morbius's powers and the kind of consequences of him becoming this sort of mutated supernatural bat. This is Sony's attempt at doing a supernatural anti-hero film, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Venom seemed to have worked, and they're doing Venom 2, so I couldn't see Morbius going so badly wrong, but fingers crossed. And this is a chance for Jared Leto to get some limelight after kind of being shut down by Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. The next film we're looking forward to seeing in 2020 is Brahms The Boy 2. Honestly, the first movie did freak me out at the end when a guy actually comes out of a wall and he has this doll face mask, and it turns out he is related to Brahms the doll, which in actual fact that the movie was about a woman having to babysit a doll because their son who passed away was attached to it, and then he ended up being alive and really freaking people out who watched the film, and now they're doing a sequel. I mean, okay, to be fair, I just want to get freaked out again. I don't know what's wrong with me. The trailer shows a family moving into the house several years later, and the son, the boy, the young boy is attached to the Brahms doll, which somehow survived the fire. I'm pretty sure there was a fire in the first one. Quote me if I'm wrong. And he ends up more or less becoming a serial killer, judging from what happens in the trailer. So I'm hoping that this film freaks me out even further than the first one did. Next one we're looking forward to in 2020 is Wonder Woman 1984. I really liked the first Wonder Woman film. It was really strong and it basically saved the DCEU from flopping. This film was set in 1984. The trailer was really good. It had some nice 80s vibes to it. And the antagonist is Cheetah. And unfortunately, I don't really have that much knowledge on Cheetah or many of the DC characters. But apparently, Cheetah is Wonder Woman's best friend. And from the trailer, if she becomes the antagonist, maybe she ends up double-crossing her or something. But we have yet to see. Comment below if you've got any info on Cheetah and Wonder Woman. The only thing that's worrying me about Wonder Woman 1984 is the return of Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, because of course he was the love interest in the first one and he sacrificed himself in this sort of plane crash that happened, and now he's back, he's been resurrected, so I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. It's exciting to see him back, of course, but how they're going to explain him being alive is kind of going to really trouble me a bit, but if they play it well, then it will not impact the movie at all whatsoever for me. The next film I'm looking forward to seeing in 2020 is New Mutants. I remember when the first trailer came out in 2018, and then boom, we get a new trailer this year, and I'm like, they're finally doing this film. I thought it got cancelled or something. So this is supposed to be like a horror film in a way, mixed with a superhero film, and I'm pretty excited to see that. This being scary and frightening, which from the trailers it does seem that way. It's trying to show that although it's cool to have these mutant powers, at the same time you're a target and it can be terrifying as well to have these powers, and we get to explore that in this film. The cast looks awesome and the vibe is very spooky and eerie, and I can't wait to see what they do with this film. I'm not sure if this is connected to the MCU or not, but if this is the last Fox movie, the last X-Men Fox movie, then I'm pretty sure it's going to be a terrifying one, hopefully, and I can't wait to really watch and see this film. The next one I'm looking forward to in 2020 is the Eternals film. This is technically the first kind of new Phase 4 movie of the MCU, which I have no knowledge about whatsoever. But that's fine because nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and they turn out to be fan favourites. Everyone loves the Guardians, and I'm hoping they do the same thing with the Eternals. We don't really know that much about them, but in the end we're going to end up loving them so much that we want to see more of them. Apparently this is supposed to be impacted from the events of Avengers Endgame, which makes a lot of sense because that film, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a pinnacle for future Phase 4 and beyond movies going forwards. All I know is that the cast seems really awesome, and I can't wait to see what they do with these characters and how this film is going to play out. The last film I'm looking forward to seeing this year is A Quiet Place Part 2. Did we need a sequel? We probably didn't, but we are getting one anyway, and I'm actually excited to see what they do with this film because we want to know what happened on the first day of these creatures coming to Earth and basically terrorizing everyone. As well as that, we get to see what happens after the events from the first movie and what happens to the family, as of course they managed to kill those 3 creatures and find out how to defeat them. But although that's the case, there are still monsters lurking within the shadows as they uncover that, and obviously from the trailers it looks like that their story isn't over and it's not the end of these horrors. I really hope that the origin of these creatures isn't some sort of ritual kind of satanic thing, because that has been quite used a lot in horror films and stuff, and it'd be nice to see something else, something different. Maybe there's some sort of alien race that have come down to the Earth because they're sick and tired of us making so much noise. Either way, I'm hoping that this is just as scary and tense as the first movie, and I'm pretty sure it will be. So that was my list, my films I'm looking forward to seeing in 2020. Comment below what films you're looking forward to seeing this year, what's your most anticipated movie, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye!